So I must say, over 20 hard acts to follow, so thank you all for this afternoon. I've been asked to talk about what men can do to amplify more women's voices more often. My name's Matt Gaffney and I set up my Indico practice 7 years ago to focus on the evolution of businesses and of careers. I've worked with around 70 women around structured one-on-one career development coaching programs over that time. I've been actively involved in the Your Leadership Voice inaugural program since sort of the promotion and recruitment phase. And as Sharon said, I strive to be an authentic male champion of change every day. What can men do? First and foremost, they can actively support or continue to actively support the women around them who they know and they rate. They might be family members, it might be their partner, it might be friends, it might be colleagues, it might be clients. And what I think they can do, they can draw upon one of three what I call little gems of support, and they all happen to start with an I. The first little gem is make an introduction. So make an introduction to someone of potential interest for a woman that you know or who you rate. I know the buzz I get when someone actually goes out of his or her way to introduce me to someone. It may be a potential client, but more broadly, it might be someone who is in an area of interest, got a professional specialisation, might align with mine. It might be someone who's got a geographic presence that aligns with what I'm trying to do, or they might have a common area of interest. What I've been able to do is I strive to try and make an email introduction. It's an easy thing to do. In this day and age, a link to a profile on a website, a LinkedIn profile, a sentence or two just setting the scene. It takes a couple of minutes. I try and do that a couple of times a week because I'm the beneficiary of it, at least a couple of times a week. And it's been integral to get good Melburnians connected around things of potential interest. I've seen women go and get roles out of it. They've gone hunting on and pursuing and securing projects. They've found mentors, they've found friends, they've found common interests. And it's easy and you can play that bridging role. And so I put that out there to the men in the room. Think about how you can actually do that for a woman that you know and who you rate. The second of the little gems, extend an invitation to an event that may appeal. We're all getting inundated with invitations to all sorts of things, including from our Monash friends. But a lot of these things that we're getting invitations for are open access. We simply need to register, or it's not a big fuss, and in many cases there's no cost involved. Or you can bring a guest. So why don't you think about a woman who might have an interest in that event and or the organisation that's hosting the event. I had a lovely experience a couple of years ago. I was mentoring a high potential woman and she's a sports tragic. So she'd spotted the David Parker narration, which was an event that was being held at Federation Square. So we went to that 4 years ago. We've gone to another four since. And it's just become one of our things. And it's around, we've built this beautiful enduring friendship. I'm no longer an active mentor to her, but it came about, she spotted it before I did and said, let's go together. They're easy gets. They're easy gets. So I'd encourage the men, go and look at, next time you see an invitation, say, what woman that I know and rate might I extend the invitation to? Even if she can't make it along, the fact you've extended the invitation speaks volumes. The third of the little gems, starting with I, is to share an idea. What I've done is, it might be as simple as going through an article that you see of interest, and it might be in relation to a woman that you know and rate, and it relates to a client of hers. It might be a target, it might be a person of interest to her, it might be a funny story, it might be something. But the fact that you're swinging these things around to people that you know and rate, it's engaging. What I've found, one of my favourites, is actually Spotify being a music tragic. Don't underestimate the power of putting a little playlist together for one of your women friends who likes her music, throw a few controversial choices in there and get her engaged around it. So that's the third component of it. An element I just should come back and reflect on in terms of extending an invitation. I created the Indico Roses and Thorn gatherings 4 years ago now as a forum for between 10 and 20 women at a time to connect and chat over good food. There's now over 400 women who've been to at least one of those gatherings. There's been 60 plus of them now, including one yesterday morning, another one next week. What I would like to do as my own personal commitment is extend the invitation to each of the Your Leadership Voice participants. If you'd like to get involved, have a chat and let's see whether we can get you along. There's already a couple of active participants and I'd love to take that further. So just repeating the three little gems starting with I. Make an introduction, extend an invitation, or share an idea. That combination of introductions, invitations and ideas, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's going to give you pound for pound more of a chance for more connectivity, more engagement, and let's think about it. They're building blocks to more confidence and more resilience. One of the themes of your leadership voice was the ability to navigate more challenges and overcome more obstacles. Yes, what I would like to add is it would also contribute to the identification and capitalisation of more opportunities. So my final point would be to the men in the room, what can you do and what will you do? Thank you.